this is George Lynch, formerly of Dokken, Lynch Mob, and a whole bunch of other bands and projects. And you're listening to Rock on Radio right now. I hope you're enjoying it.
You think I would be used to that theme song by now?
You think?
Many thanks to Charles Larita for creating that, as well as the theme music for Danny Coleman's Got the Blues and Chip Off the Old Rock. And I do three shows that need a theme song. He did the theme song for all of them. So welcome to Rock on Radio. We're going to do things a little out of order this evening because we have constraints.
Is that what they're calling them?
Yes, that's what they're calling it. Tonight we have an interesting show. We have the Beagles here this evening, producer
Again,
Claire.
yes. Woohoo!
And we will introduce them in a second because I think they multiplied when
Since the
we
last
weren't
time.
looking.
That's what Beagles do.
That's whoa. And we're expecting a call any minute from Jenny Barnes.
Woohoo! I like Jenny.
Talking about her show at the Lizzie Rose Music Room.
That was supposed to be back when she was here in
Back in
February, January?
Yeah, something like that. This is the rescheduled performance, which is scheduled for the 30th
Of May. May 30th.
May 30th. Well, we'll find out in a second. But before we go there, just a couple of quick things I want to say. Rock on Radio is very sad to announce the passing of two people that I have known for quite a long time. Number one, last week, I guess it was, Joe Louis Walker passed away.
I know.
And I actually, Gina Coleman actually contacted me.
Wow.
I was unaware. She said, I don't know if you saw this or not. And I was like, it's kind of fitting. I found out from her.
Right, right.
And the other one is a gentleman, a local guy. I don't know if you guys remember the Music Box?
Yeah.
Frank Russo
Yeah.
just passed away
So.
a day or two ago. And he, if you live local to where we are in this area, you know Frank. Everybody bought instruments at the Music Box. I don't know if you remember this or not, but remember when Percussion Plus was attached to the Music Box back in the day? My buddy Mike Zarilli was the guy that ran the percussion side of the Music Box, and yeah, it was very sad to hear of Frank's passing. As we age, look at me, I'm decomposing right in front of you. I know what you're thinking.
Think for yourself.
Well, like I said, we will get to the Beagles very, very shortly. But until we get the call from Jenny, which is coming in real quick, we'll do some sponsors. How's that, Claire?
Sounds good.
Rock On Radio is sponsored by Phoenix Art Supply and Framing, which is located on Route 611, otherwise known as Southeastern Road, in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. For more than 40 years, Jenny Schaefer, wife of Chuck Schaefer, another local musician, which some of us here are familiar with, they have been providing quality art supplies and framing to the Delaware Valley area. O'Connor's American Bar and Grill, located on Route 537, otherwise known as Monmouth Road in East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey. They are the official caterers of Rock On Radio. There we go. Let me just guzzle down this Jemison.
You wish.
I wish. The Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation, if you go to jsjbf.org, you'll see everything that the foundation has its hands in, and we are very excited to be part of that. You can look up some of our recent photos and blogs and accounts of our trip to Clarksdale which
I
is
know.
which is 2 months ago already.
Wow.
Wow, that went quick.
That was a great group.
Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation. Sinister Footwear. Go to sinisterfw.com and check out some of the crazy wild socks that Tina has. And use the promo code DCRSOCKS. You'll get 10% off at checkout. Dee Dee's Lights. Dee Dee illuminates us with her fabulous candles. And go to Dee Dee's Lights on Instagram, and you can see her. She's the official chandler of Rock On Radio. But right now, we have this wonderful woman who it is no secret that I simply adore. Hello, Miss Jenny Barnes. How are you?
Hello, good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I am always happy to talk to you, my friend. How's things?
Things are good. I got all dressed up.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have to just close my eyes to get a mental picture of that now.
We're having a party over here.
Right. Now, at the risk of sounding like some sort of pervert and angering your husband, I'm going to refrain from saying, what are you wearing?
What do you mean you're going to? You just did.
Oh, wait, I just did. What's up, my friend? You have some big stuff going on, right?
I do. I have the Lizzie Rose coming up on May 30th.
That is the rescheduled from when you were actually in here.
Yes, it was like December sometime. So
Right.
we scheduled it way out, and the tickets are selling like hotcakes. And we have some tickets left, and I just wanted to let everybody know they're available.
That is,
Nice.
It's going to be a wonderful night of original music, and I have some special guests coming. Actually, I have some special guests in the room with me too.
Uh-oh.
They're making sure I don't. Yeah, they're making sure I don't say anything wrong.
Who is with you?
I have Chris Pitcher with me, and I have Greg Smith.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know if I could do the speakerphone because it might make noises and make it all crazy, but
Oh, you could
That's a
try.
good. They're there. Their job is kind of like Claire's job here at Rock On Radio.
I have a job.
See, when
to be absolutely stunning.
yes, to be absolutely stunning. And
Yes.
but when I get out of line, she kind of like the goalie kicks me back into play, like the ball back into play. So that's what them guys are doing to you, right? So you don't get out of
Yeah,
line.
yeah, but I kick back.
I do too.
You do?
I do.
I know. Yeah, the last time I was with you, you were talking about the hand pies.
The hand pies.
The hand pies at the Christmas party.
Oh, the
Oh, the
Lillipies.
Lillipies. Yes.
Oh, is that what they were?
Yes,
Yes.
tiny
Lillipies.
ones.
You have me
They
wondering.
fit in your
Lillipies.
I'm thinking, what? How much did I drink?
What's a hand pie? Okay.
Yes, Lillipies of Princeton. We like them.
Yes.
Yes, they're delicious.
They're actually one of our sponsors.
Yes, they are.
They're inside the Princeton Shopping Center. You like how I segued into that
Yes,
and
you did.
eliminated another
Yes.
sponsor? There you go. So, so Jenny, what time does this show start on the 30th?
The 30th doors open at 7:00, and the show is at 7:30.
Okay, and tickets can be found on the
You can, yes, LizzieRoseMusic.com, or you can message me on Facebook or come to any of our shows before May 30th, and I will have a few. I only have a few tickets left, but I will have them available. But if you can get to me, they're a little bit cheaper than the box.
Okay, so where are you playing between Sunday, the 25th, and the
It's
30th?
The 30th. Yeah. Oh, I am playing. Sunday the 25th. Let me see. Sunday the 25th, the happy hour in Toms River
Nice.
on Jamaica Boulevard. That is 1 to 4, actually. I will have tickets. And no, it's Sunday. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much.
Is that Chris back there straightening
That's
you?
Chris back here. He's trying to tell me what to do. Yeah. hold on.
Oh, my Lord. Chris, what's up, buddy?
What's happening,
There
Dan?
he is.
Hey, Claire, how are you?
Hey, how are you? Good.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
So it's Friday, May 30th, right? So it's a Friday night?
Yeah,
Yes.
May 30 at the
Right.
Lizzie Rose, right?
Yeah, and there's a few tickets left that you can get them at the door as well. I don't think Jen mentioned that. But-
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
And then if they reach out to you and it's not a gig that you have, they'll be able to reach out to you guys personally, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah,
All right.
that helps
And
too.
All right, I'm gonna-
and you have surprises prepared for this, Jenny said?
yeah, we have a couple. I'm actually going to show up this time.
Ah,
That's one.
No, come on.
Yeah,
That
we have
would be nice.
a couple of guest players sitting in. So.
Oh,
that's
do you?
cool.
Anybody I know?
It's a surprise.
I don't know, a couple of horn guys. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm going to keep their names under wraps for now.
All right. That's perfect. Otherwise, it won't be a surprise.
Exactly.
Because, the 480 million people that listen to this show,
I
somebody
know.
would squeal. You know that.
I
without
get
a
stopped on the street all the time from those 480 people.
doubt. Yeah.
I mean, 480 million people.
And I bet you I remember when you were on Danny Coleman's Rock on Radio.
Aren't you
Yes.
Chris Pitcher?
Aren't you?
Exactly.
That's right. And then they ask about Claire, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes. It was great to talk to you guys. I'm going to pass you back off to
Awesome.
Jen.
All right.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, take care, guys.
All
Jenny,
right.
Jenny, who can I turn to?
Oh, good.
I like that one.
You
I
like that one?
that one.
There you
Yes.
go. How about
Yeah, I
that?
didn't realize you were such a vocalist.
No,
Neither did he.
neither. Wow. So what is your website, your social media, Jen? How do we
We
find
have Jenny Barnes Band on Facebook. It's JB and GU on Facebook if you want to know that much. But you can find me on Facebook. That is my social media. And then I have Jenny Barnes Music on Instagram.
Oh, okay, good.
And I'm slowly building my Tickety Talk. We'll see what happens with that.
Tickety talk.
TikTok, you don't stop. Yeah.
I don't have a TikTok, Jen.
Well, TikTok, you don't stop. You might need one. Then you can say that.
True, that's true.
Yeah.
What would you do with a TikTok?
The Chinese would try to spy on me for all of my knowledge.
Oh, they already are spying on you.
You think so?
Oh, sure. Yes, I think you have more spies than you know.
This is true.
People listen in on your conversations every
This
week.
is true.
It's true.
So
There
there's your 485 million
480
listeners.
million listeners that we have.
There you go.
All right, I might have exaggerated by 999,999, but
I don't think that's exaggerating.
no? Okay.
I do.
Well, you sent me a tune. Now, will you be playing this song at...
Yes, definitely.
all right.
Yes.
Now, this is one I have not heard before.
Straight
don't
from the
think.
east?
Yeah, or have I?
Yes. Straight from the east.
Is this
And I
new?
wonder what that's about. Well, it's just one of the songs that we always play because it's just such a great song. And it's about the people that come from here and how, we got a hard edge, but we're good people.
That's true.
And we know how to have a good time, and we know how to blow off steam at the end of a hard work week.
No, true. Now,
We go see the Jenny Barnes Band at the Lizzie Rose.
I can be pretty edgy,
You are not.
but I'm soft in the middle.
Ah. Are you goth?
Is he
Oh,
gone?
my God.
No.
No, I'm fat.
There's fat goths, but you're not fat.
Oh,
This fat guy. He's squishy though. He is.
I am squishy.
It's like the Pillsbury
Squishy.
Doughboy.
You're tender. You're tender.
David, do you hear how they describe me? Squishy.
I don't
Tender.
think that's very nice.
Who's there with you today?
We have the Beagles. Say hello to Jenny Barnes, guys.
Hi, Jenny. Jenny.
Beagles. Oh, oh, oh.
The Beagles. That's right. They have a new record coming out, and we're going to get to them. So I'm going to let
All
you
right.
go, Miss Barnes.
Great to talk to you guys.
Yes, you
and
too.
I will.
Good
Perhaps you may see me arrive on the 30th.
I would love that.
That would be cool.
I'll be sitting there. I mean, it doesn't matter where I sit. You could reach out and shake my hand at the Lizzie Rose,
That's true.
whether
Yeah,
I'm in the
that's
last
true.
row or the front row. So, yeah,
Yes.
It's very intimate.
very small room. All right. So once again, that is May 30th, 7:30, the Lizzie Rose Music Room in Tuckerton, New Jersey, and tickets can be found at your show in Tom's River on
Yes.
on
Sunday.
and on the
Lizzie
Lizzie Rose's
Rosemusic.com.
music site. And you have you don't they don't let you sell them, right?
Oh no, I am. Yeah,
Yeah.
at my shows you can buy.
No,
them,
but
yes.
I can't go to your website and purchase the tickets. That has to go through the Lizzie Rose.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you can Venmo me,
Yeah, and reach
Okay.
out to her.
How much you want?
and I can meet you.
Ah,
We'll have to talk about the price later.
Ooh. It's priceless. It's like those
Yes, it's
MasterCard
priceless.
commercials.
Yes, you're
Right.
a special guy.
Well,
Okay.
we're going to play Straight from the East by the Jenny Barnes Band, and then we are going to get right to the Beagles. Rock on, my friend.
You too. Rock on. Thank you so much.
All right, see you guys.
Bye, Jenny.
Take care. Bye-bye.
There we go. Jenny Barnes. Here's her tune, Straight from the East, and then the Beagles.
I hear sounds from the lightning, feel my senses awake. I got love all around me and I just can't seem to get my head on straight. Oh, you look like you're wild in those eyes, restless, ready to be free. Out there riding the night, you're moving, brushing up gently. Oh, where I come from, there's others like you working hard, trying to get through it straight from the east. Straight from the east. I hear a loud heart beating. See your body just sweat. There's a long line of sexy people shaking off the weak with the best that they can get. Oh, look at me from this view. I hit with a warrior in you. You look like you're ready to turn down stone, but you're drunk and you're into this. Oh, where I come from, can't ever be cool. Try so hard just to get through. Straight from the east. Straight from the east. Oh. Straight from the east. Straight from the east. Straight from the east. Oh, flipping, turning, bending. If we tear it up, we mend it. Where I come from, there's others like you, coming with everything we do. Oh, mom and daddy don't wake up no time to wind my clock. I hear the screaming wail of the horns and guitar. All hell to make us mine. Oh, where I come from, there's others like you. Try so hard just to get through it. Straight from the east. Straight from the east. Straight from the east. Straight from the east.
There we go. Jenny Barnes here on Rock On Radio, which is coming to you from the 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment.
Woo-woo.
Always happy to be back here at the 2-track studios of Deco Entertainment. Well, I promised you we were going to get to the Beagles, and so we are.
With joy.
So please, the Beagles with joy. That's right. I was corrected
Again.
expediently.
Yes.
And but
you were
yet-
wrong.
but yet gently
It happened to me. I used to think we were the Beagles, and she corrected me.
Whoa! And you're the guy that started the band.
Yeah, well then she made it a whole new thing, though.
Well, you are here. You hear Rob, and go ahead, Rob. Around the room, who do we have with us?
Well, we've got Joy.
Hello.
Joy Okoye. We've got Jay Pasapanko, who was on our first album as a guest, and now he's with us as a full member. Glad to have him on keyboards. We got John Mazzio on guitar and lap steel. We got Denixter on bass, and David Ross, who's been with us from about the beginning on drums.
Yay!
There you go. That's and what we're going to do is, because we have some time constraints, because our good friend Jay has to kind of leave.
He has to leave.
There's no
early,
kind
that's
of.
all.
He's got to leave.
He's always letting us
Jay,
down.
Jay, I was trying to make it sound like, nice and easy, buddy, but So why don't we do something I don't usually do? Why don't we start off with some music from... You all right back there, David?
Sorry.
Grandfather's clock back there.
I was going to say the metronome.
Telltale heart.
Why don't we start off with some music so we can hear what the Beagles with Joy are all about?
All right. We're going to start off with this tune called We're All Alone, which is a blues tune, which I know is something you love, Danny. It's going to be on our upcoming album. The album's called Soul on Fire with the subtitle Love Songs for Grown-Ups, and this definitely fits in that love songs for grown-ups
I'm not
category.
a grown-up, though.
Well, the kids love this one, too. You wouldn't believe how this one gets with little
Excellent.
kids
All right.
dancing. So.
I like the way you kiss.
You got the lips I miss.
I miss your abyss.
The way you bring me bliss.
Give me more of that.
Give me more of this.
Don't leave me flat.
Let me exist.
I'll be your tomcat.
I'm gonna make you hear.
I'd like to make you moan
When we're all alone.
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 I like to make you moan
When we're all alone.
when we're all alone.
I like to make you moan. I like to make you moan when we're all alone. I let you see the demons in my dreams. To be the freak that no one's ever seen.
I like the way you swoon.
You like the way I sway.
I like a new full moon.
Baby, not today.
Will you hold me tight?
You hold me through the
I
night.
even like the way you fight.
When you know I'm right.
When you give me a lift,
When I shake my head.
I'm gonna make you moan.
Moan when we're all alone.
I like the way you swoon.
You like the way I talk.
I like the way you move.
You like the way I groove.
The way we dance till dawn.
The way we carry on.
The way you come on strong.
So right is
I
wrong.
like the way we stick
to it when it gets thick.
You're the one I pick.
You're the one I pick.
I shriek to chill the fire that silhouettes the gates of doom.
They'll think they heard the hounds of hell a howling at the moon.
drama, demons dancing at my door to resurrect the heartbeat that we swore would be no more.
When we're all alone.
When we're all alone.
When we're all alone.
When we're all
I
alone.
like to make you moan.
You like to make me moan.
When we're all alone.
When we're all alone. I'd like to make you moan. When we're all alone. I like to make you moan. Oh, when we're all alone.
The Beagles with Joy here on Rock On Radio. And what was that one called?
We're all alone.
Nice.
Tell you a funny story about that one. Joy and I have we've had a few ups and downs in our relationship over the last 6 years, and at one time she decided we weren't going to be together anymore. We were going to still play music together, and I wrote that song, and I said, well, let's sing this one next. And when she agreed to sing that song, I knew that the breakup really wasn't going to stick.
So it's a love song.
Yes, it is.
Or something.
Yeah.
Or something.
Rob's idea of love song.
Actually, Nick, you could, if you want to pull that mic up to you, you can, because we'll be getting to some more music in a little bit. But
I'll get
there you go. Perfect. Perfect.
All the way in the corner over here. All the way in the corner.
Well,
Put me in the corner.
Well, while
In the
Jay,
back.
while Jay is disassembling his stuff, Jay, I feel bad that you came all this way to play one song.
I feel bad, too, to have you denied my considerable talent.
That's right. Well, it just wet our whistle to want more, so I have to come see you.
The good news is, Jay, that you're not the first today whose considerable talent I have denied.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jay. If only for the one tune.
You know what? This is great. I wish I was able to stay longer.
Well, you are always welcome back, my friend.
That's right.
And I will be in touch with you, sir. Okay. Discussing other musical adventures in the future. Jay has done his duo did the Nottingham Tavern one of the prime rib nights.
Oh, very cool.
Correct.
Very nice.
And while Jay is doing that, I might as well finish up the sponsors real quick.
Sure.
And then we can get back to
Okay.
the Beagles.
You
New
do.
Jersey Stage. You go to newjerseystage.com. And you can click on radio shows, and that's probably where you could be listening to this program right now, under the penguinrocks.com. NewJerseyStage.com is the finest arts and entertainment magazine,
Yes, it
covering
is.
all of the Garden State, every art, every form of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
NewJerseyStage.com.
That's where your article is, too.
That's
every
right,
week.
where my column is every week. Rock On. This week's Sound Bites. This week's column is on the Billy Walton Band. Actually, I spoke to Billy recently, and we had a nice conversation. He got a brand new single out, something I could really relate to. It's called "A Knife in My Back." I'm serious. That's the name of the single.
I think a few of us can.
Yes. So, Asbury Park Vibes. Go to AsburyParkVibes.com. If you're a band, a solo artist, an entertainer, a realtor, anybody, you need headshots, you need a bio written for your website, or press releases done, go see Doug and Diane. They have a staff of 15 different photographers who cover shows all throughout New Jersey, and mostly concentrating on the Asbury Park, Jersey Shore area, but they do work throughout the state. And they will do bios and headshots and things of that nature. So AsburyParkVibes.com. The Doylestown Music Festival,
Yeah.
of which I will be emceeing the main stage on June 7th.
Yes, you will.
The festival is starting soon. It runs from the 1st to the 8th.
Right. All over Doylestown.
But all over Doylestown. But the big day is June 7th. That's when they're blocking off all the streets so my limo can get through. You realize that?
How big is your limo?
Whoa, that's a personal question.
That's true. That's probably a personal answer, too.
But the Doylestown Music Fest, and we will be, that day it starts at noon. The music starts at noon, goes from noon to 5. So we will be there, or I will be there.
You will be there.
You may or may not be there. You're still undecided.
Well, I have a personal thing going on, so.
And our beer sponsor, Tyndall Road Brewery.
Have you picked a flavor yet?
No, I haven't gotten there. My liver's having issues with me. It's tapping me on my inside saying, hello, come see Tyndall Road Brewery.
Why?
I have to get there, though. I did talk to Marcy. She's like, all right, come in. All right, I'll get there. But Tyndall Road Brewery is located at 102 Farnsworth Avenue in Bordentown, New Jersey. Go check out their selection of fine craft beers. And this one, you will or will not be at. I'm not sure because you've not committed to that either. Anthony Big A Sherrod.
Oh, I think I'll be there. I plan to be there.
I think I'll be there. Does that sound committed?
I have a very busy social schedule. You know, I have to keep my options open.
I understand that. Big A Sherrod is going to be at the Lauren K. Woods Theater on the campus of Monmouth University.
Yep, 8 p.m. right now, and Little Joe McLaren will probably be there too.
Oh yeah,
and a few other people from Clarksdale are coming up.
This kid,
12?
Little Joe McLaren or McLaren.
McLaren, yeah, 11.
11 years old.
Yeah, 11. He just turned 11 when we got there, and his father plays, his grandfather plays.
This kid can play guitar like you would not believe.
And he looks like little Ricky Ricardo.
He puts us all to shame, is what it is.
So
Yeah.
cute, though, but he's so respectful. He wears a suit, and he was so adorable. And they gave him a scholarships. You know, they gave him some money to help
As the
encourage
up-and-coming
his-
artist.
yeah.
Yep. So
he's coming up.
And how can they find us, Claire?
They go to dcror.com, which is a short link for Danny Coleman's rockonradio.com.
Correct. Facebook, Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio, the number 2. Instagram, at Rock On Radio, all one word, all capital letters. That's done.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yay.
Woohoo.
So we have, now you have, now that Jay left, Jay took his ball and went home. Which means we have here now. I'm going to go now. I'm going to start in the back real quick with John. John.
In the back.
Now, John, I could sit here and pretend like I don't know John, but I would not do that. So I know John. John and I have done a couple of different projects here and there. And so what are you up to now, John? What's going on besides the Beagles with Joy?
David and I, actually, Dave Ross and I are working with a singer-songwriter who now lives in North Carolina. Her name is Susanna Sabin. And we're in a little collaborative called Novo Rodeo. It's myself on bass and David on drums. Susanna is the vocalist, guitar, and acoustic guitar and songwriter. And our good friend Greg Neese is the guitar player. So we've been rehearsing. Susanna comes up here and rehearses. Now we're experimenting with her recording vocal and guitar tracks and sending them up here to me, David, and Greg.
Oh, the old COVID recording
yeah,
style.
Exactly. And we're
and you're playing bass on that project?
Yes, indeed, I'm playing bass on that project.
And you're playing lap steel, and
Here,
and
yes.
here with the Beagles. So,
He's
did he
played
do the
bass-
first album also?
No, I was not on there
Oh,
on the first Beagles album.
He's played bass on a couple of tracks on our albums too. While we were between bass players, he did some bass with us too.
You're out of control, Bazio.
Whatever needs to be done.
I like that. I like
As
that.
long as it doesn't involve singing. That's,
Yeah, true.
I've even heard him do that.
Yeah,
under duress.
under duress. So, where was this record recorded?
Me, you're asking? Or?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, the album that we have coming out, we recorded at Peter Gregory's studio, Rock Run Recording in Yardley, PA.
Oh, okay. What made you go over there?
Well, I knew Peter for a long time. I first was introduced to him right before our first album was recorded, and I considered working with him then, but I actually wound up doing the first album with Lon Van Eaton, who's a bit of a name. He recorded with Apple
Right.
Records and
Yeah.
worked with the Beatles and stuff. But just towards the end of the first album, I parted ways with Lon and was looking for someone else to record with, and I started working with Peter. We did the last couple tracks there, and it's been a really wonderful experience working with Peter. You know, he's not quite as well known as Lon is, and probably not quite as fast as doing everything in the studio, but the thing is he really listens to what I want and really works together in a collaborative way well. So I'm actually even happier with the product that we've gotten with this one than with our first album. We've learned a lot together, and he's a wonderful guy to work with.
Now, what's the name of the album?
The album's going to be called Soul on Fire, Love Songs for Grown-Ups.
Love Songs for Grown-Ups. Joy, you smirk when he says that.
Because it was a joke, and I think it lasted.
She suggested Love Songs for Grown-Ups is the title of the album originally, and then we came up with the song Soul on Fire. I came up with that, and then we decided we're sort of going in a soul direction, and there's a bunch of songs about fire and stuff like that, so we decided that was the best name for the album. But then we were working for the art for the album. She said, let's put both in there, so they're both on there.
I see. Now, whose idea was this, Joy, for the album?
Oh, that was definitely Rob.
Definitely Rob's.
Definitely, yeah.
You say that with conviction?
Yes. Yes. I don't know how it happened, but I'm here.
Joy had basically sung in church before we started working together.
Nice. Yeah, that's where I do.
You have that in common with producer Claire here.
Okay, there we go.
I like singing in church.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You sing in church?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
With that cowboy singing in the back, that'd be at church that you go to.
Yeah, well, that's why I sit in the back, so I can join the duo up top, because they're so quiet.
Yeah, no.
I sing hymn number 2 all the time.
I know that one.
Do you?
Yeah.
You know hymn number 2?
Oh, yeah.
All right, David.
Well, I sing praise songs. I was like a worship leader back at home in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
So came here and doing something a little different.
Yeah.
You met Joy about the same time I did, Danny, because when I met her, that Motown show that we did.
Oh, really?
Like,
Okay.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
She joined in that show for one song, the Nowhere to Run, at the recommendation of some of the other singers in the show. And the first time she came to my basement and sang that song, I was like, wow, this girl can sing.
Nice.
And then you
we've
did
found more and stuff.
she did the Christmas show too at the
I had never done anything like this in my life. This whole band thing just was so new to me, and singing all these worldly songs.
Whoa,
coming from
worldly,
worldly songs coming from where I come from,
Kansas.
Yeah.
Kansas.
Very
she said,
evangelical
is the-
history.
Was that where you're from?
Yeah.
Kansas?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So
Where
maybe
at in
about
Kansas?
25. Manhattan, the Little Apple.
Oh.
The Little Apple.
Wow, that's cute.
Little Apple.
So what brought you to Jersey?
Oh, that would have been my husband, not him, but yeah, he had a
The other
business
guy.
Here. Yeah. So got here about 25 something years ago. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see. And I was going to say we'll go to David. Nick seems preoccupied at the moment. So David, now again, other than Nick, it's the first time I'm meeting Nick. I know everybody that was here this evening through various projects and some of Rob's Einstein Alley things. How long have you? Well, you were on the first album. I know that.
Yes.
I can remember seeing your picture.
And I guess we started playing together, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago at this point.
Yeah,
it must
I mean,
be something
at
like
least, I mean, I think, I think occasional gigs and stuff like 9 years ago or something, but probably you became the regular guy we started using around 2017, so like 8 years ago. Yeah.
That's about when I met you too. I think it was. I've been here about 8 years, 7 years.
Yeah.
I remember you playing a lot.
Well, and it's nice to hear that you're the regular guy as opposed to the irregular guy.
he is the always guy now.
I would
used to be
imagine I would be
irregular.
the irregular guy because I did one gig with him.
Yeah. Well, we did a show. We did that Motown show together.
And the
you I.
Christmas show, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Correct. Which we'll get to those in a second. And what do you have going on, David, besides forcing John to play bass with a girl from North Carolina?
Well, that's one of my great accomplishments, actually. I like playing original music for the most part. I try to do as much of that as I can. So I in addition to playing with Rob, I play with and Susanna Sabin, who John mentioned. I play with a couple of singer-songwriters who are based in New York. Play here with Helen O'Shea, who's just releasing another record, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm involved in a couple of projects that will be done at the Princeton Library, one of which Rob is organizing, this disco funk show in June, and then in July there's a Music of 1966 show that will also be at the library.
Oh, nice.
So I've been way too busy, way too occupied.
But it's local for you, right? So it's not too far.
Yeah, except for the stuff except for North Carolina.
Oh, well, that.
Other than that, yeah.
Manhattan's not that local.
And John said that you're bringing this girl up from North Carolina, right?
She does come up, yes, to rehearse
did you
and stuff. We were hoping to play in June at a local event, but it got canceled. We'll probably be back down. We played last year. We played at the Carborough Music Festival down by her in near Raleigh-Durham, and we're hoping to get back there again this fall. But hopefully we'll be able to book some shows or some gigs up here when she comes up.
And when she comes up here, do you keep her chained in your basement?
Most of the time that she's up here, we're in there. She's in the basement. She's in that space that you know well.
Now you know why I like rehearsing at your house. That's right.
You're so strange.
It's always good.
I think it would be more accurate to say that she keeps us chained
in the basement,
rehearsing.
True story.
Keeps you on your toes.
So I agree, David, with what you're talking about, because years back when I first started doing this show, which is more than 16 now, I would go to open mics to see what was out there as far as talent, and I inevitably began to know a lot of people, and then I would start performing with them. And I was hitting a lot of the open mics along the Jersey Shore, Asbury Park, Neptune, Long Branch, Point Pleasant, that area. And what I discovered was when you got up to perform with the original artists, it was great, because none of them... It's not like you were up there playing Freebird where you're expected to do the right thing at the right time. If you made a mistake, nobody knew it was supposed to be there, or if it was a mistake. So you always kind of had that, but it was always fresh, I found, to learn other people's material, and it wasn't just the same basic cover tunes over and over and over again.
And you get to create drum parts.
Correct.
Which is which for me is probably one of the most important reasons that I prefer original music. I get to create the drum parts.
Lay down the tracks.
I've never told David a part to play really specifically at all. He definitely adds creatively to everything we do.
The fun thing, and I'm going to pretend like David's not even here right now. I'm just going to ignore him, and I'm going to look at you with joy. And the funny thing about certain musicians, there are others, any musician, you can ask them, what do you have for an original piece of music? And some will give you the brand new ideas that just sound wonderful, or like, oh gosh, I never thought of that. That's great. Yeah, go with it. And you can just kind of throw them out onto the street and say, go for it. And then there are others where you got to kind of look at, like, okay, what are you doing now? Where are you going next? What do you? I don't know, but I can honestly say that when it comes to David Ross, his ability to keep things where they should be and play within the song is second to none.
Yes.
True.
And as a drummer, I say that. Okay, now I'll look at you.
I wouldn't say I've never told a drummer what to play. I've just never told David what to play.
But and that's what I'm saying. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Because I find, and being a drummer myself, I find that drummers have a tend to either A, try to overfill, B, play way too loud, or C, cram the wrong amount of notes into the wrong space at the wrong time. Or D, all of the above, right? And there are very few drummers that know how to. I interviewed Liberty DeVito one time, Billy Joel's drummer, right? And he said to me, my favorite drummers are Charlie Watts, Ringo Starr, and Mick Fleetwood because they never do too much. Everything they do is tasteful, and that's what you have with David Ross. So,
True.
Good for you.
True.
Thank you.
Good for you. Nick,
Yo,
how you doing back there,
I'm
Nick?
doing here. I'm in
You
the
all
back.
right?
In the back.
How did you get involved with this conglomerate?
I just kind of knew these people from various other projects that I'd played in, and I guess they heard me, and they were desperate, so they needed somebody. So there you go.
I think we first started working with Nick on the Beatles the Beatles Ed Sullivan tribute show we did, right, Nick? Was that the first thing we did together?
That might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
When did you do that?
It was for the 50th anniversary of the Beatles' appearance on Ed Sullivan Show. We did a concert of material both by the Beatles and by other artists that appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show at the Princeton Library.
Oh,
That
I don't
sounds
remember
cool.
seeing that.
That's neat.
I've done about 10 of these tribute shows that I've led at the Princeton Library on different
That I know.
occasions. Yeah. That was one of the recent ones. We did one a few years earlier that was just the Beagles do Beatles.
I
And then
remember that one.
This is an expanded
remember
thing from
that one.
Yes.
That was without Joy.
That was no, Joy was in that. Joy was in that.
Okay. How am I supposed to keep this stuff straight, Rob? When you
Joy's been I've been joined at the hip with Joy for 6.5 years right now, pretty much. So she's done just about everything I do. Though when she's busy, I have another group that I play with called the Freebies.
Can't you tell he's a joyous guy?
I can see that, Nick. Now, so, Nick, who's in the Freebies with him? Do you know?
It would be Jenny, I guess, myself, and depends on who's available for drummer, I guess, right?
Well, you're a freebie as well.
Sometimes.
Whoa. Part-time freebie.
Part-time, yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it charges.
The Freebies has a more floating membership. It's I'm Rob Freeman, and there's Jenny B. So hence the Freebies. So it always involves
Jenny Barnes.
It's free floating, is what it
Jenny
is.
B.
It's free floating.
So it's got free and B, and then whoever else we get for the gig.
It's like
So
Kenny
it's
Kane the Way.
freeform like this show.
We're a bit poly.
I know you're sitting there, Rob, and saying, but Danny, you are so scripted and never follow through. But alas,
You don't.
correct, I don't follow through. You're right. So what's your favorite part about being in the Beagles?
Just playing the music. I like the tunes. It's a beautiful thing.
The originals? Now,
The
Rob, you
originals.
write most of the material, right?
Most of it. Joy helps with some of it.
Okay. When you say some of it, is that lyrics or melodies, harmony? What do you do there, Joy?
Mostly lyrics. There's 2 songs, and one I sang into my phone, and then he created a whole song out of
Oh,
it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And one of them was a poem that she posted on Facebook, and I called her up 45 minutes after she posted it and sang her the song into the phone. That was her words set to music.
But if to be honest, if you want to get nitty gritty, when he gives me a song and I don't like a lyric, we might spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks trying to find the one that I will sing. So it gets to be a little sticky.
I write songs
fight.
I write songs much faster than we co-write songs. I can write a song in 15 minutes. I can spend 15 months writing a song with Joy.
There are a lot of songwriters and artists that have been on this show over the years who I would say it's probably split into thirds, where 33 1/3% of them say, "Yeah, I don't hang on a song. If I got nothing, I put it aside and I go on to the next one." And it takes me anywhere from a day or two to write a song. most of them have said it takes them 15 minutes. When something pops in their head, they can't stop, and they just, write it down. The other third say, oh, God, it takes me months to write or complete a song. And then the other third says they drag up some song from when they were like 12, and they revisit it, and that's how they write their material, right? John, you're shaking your head back there. So it can be, again, it's art.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether it takes 10 minutes or 10 years.
There's just about nothing I like better than the feeling when a song comes to me and then I start fleshing that out, and I pretty much kick everything else to the curb when I'm inspired to work on it.
Well, how many tracks is the new album?
It's going to be 8 tracks on the new album, plus a bonus track, which is like a single version, 1 track. The title track, we have both an extended version and a single version. So there's going to be 9 tracks with that. We actually recorded almost twice that much stuff, but we decided to split it up into 2 albums.
Instead of making a double album?
Yeah, or, you could fit a lot more, but just decided really put out this core group of material that fits one theme out now, and then we'll put something else out next year.
Well, you could wait. Put it all out like Genesis put out 3 sides live and 1 side studio, right? Well, let's do some more music.
Cool. We're going to do a song called The Wisest Flower, which was the first single we released in advance of the album. It's gotten like over 10,000 streams so far on Spotify, so we're psyched that it's getting some traction. And this one actually... I was doing a ritual with Joy. Likes to lead rituals. It's one of the big things she does when she's not singing is
wait.
I knew don't do this, Rob.
Joy likes to lead rituals. Are we sacrificing goats, Joy? What are we doing?
Let's just leave it for the imagination.
What kind of rituals?
Let's just get to the song.
Anyway,
Mazio, what are you involved with?
We're sacrificing singer-songwriters.
Like altered experiences. Altered experiences.
She had me making
Altered, like a sacrificial altar? My God, why is she so red?
Altered state experiences.
She's so red right now. Go ahead, John.
That's why I keep switching instruments. Whatever she's going to sacrifice, I have to get off.
To
of
go
that
the other
instrument,
way.
Get out of there.
Nice. Welcome
Anyway,
to Rocco Radio, Nick.
This song emerged in one of those experiences. She had me put an altar together with some of the treasured objects, a little an altar with treasured objects from my life, and I brought out some Native American artifacts. I spent some time on a Native American reservation as a young child, and touching some of the artifacts, this song came to me.
Yeah, you can take the ministry. How do you say that? You can take the girl out of the ministry, but not the ministry out of the girl.
That's true.
And it's also a bit inspired by the book The Little Prince. It's called The Wisest Flower.
Let's take a moment to ponder the hours. Let's take a moment to ponder the flowers. The wisest flower that I know follows the sun both to and fro. A being that can truly see speaks only as often as a tree. Listen to your inner child, awaken as her dreams run wild, keeping a beginner's mind until the end of time.
Let's take a moment to ponder the hours. Let's take a moment to ponder the flowers.
When someone tells you what they know,
They're only putting on a show.
when someone tells me who to be, I know they're not the one for me.
I'll keep on wondering why.
I'll keep on wondering why.
I'll keep on asking how.
I'll keep on asking how.
I'll keep on tracing the desire.
Tracing the desire
until the end of night.
Let's take a moment to ponder the hours. Let's take a moment to ponder the flowers.
A little prince once said to me,
You are ferocious as can be.
but since I tamed what once was free, I am responsible for thee. Listen to your inner child, waking as her dreams run wild, keeping a beginner's mind until the end of time.
Let's take a moment to ponder the hours. Let's take a moment to ponder the flowers. Let's take a moment to ponder the powers. Let's take a moment to ponder the flowers. Hida, 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 hida.
The Beagles with Joy here on Rock On Radio. What do you have a website and everything, I know,
is-
so tell us.
TheBeaglesWithJoy.com is our website, and on Facebook we are facebook.com/TheBeaglesWithJoy. And we're on Spotify too. We have 3 singles up on Spotify, and The Beagles with Joy is the name of the artist you'll find on Spotify.
Is it with joy?
It's bok choy. They're Chinese. We're
Bok
doing a
choy.
Chinese restaurant.
That could be a thing.
There you go.
Could be a thing.
See? That should be the title of the next tune.
Beagles bok choy.
To be a thing.
Joy with joy.
Mark that down.
See? David knows.
Yeah.
And they say drummers aren't creative, David. See it? We're idea men. They just, because we're stuck in the back, they never let us talk. But that's why you have a mic, David.
Today, for the first time.
It's his Phil Collins impression.
That's right. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought you were handing me a news flash or something there.
A secret note.
So Rob, how did the idea for the Beagles just ever come to be, and why did you name yourselves after a hunting dog?
After a what?
A hunting dog.
A hunting dog. Well, we started out as a duo originally, a guitar and sax duo. Me and a sax player who also played percussion, and we sang in harmony. Steve Walpert, who was on our first album,
yeah.
and
We
he
know
still does
Steve.
stuff with us often, but he's not on the new album. Well, he actually plays sax on one tune on the new album. It started as a duo, and I like to say that it was inspired by, well, I'll say 2 things. One, I say it was inspired by the Beagles, the Eagles, and Snoopy. And people ask me, you know, well, if it was inspired by the Beatles, like, and Eagles, do you play, like, lots of Beatles and Eagles cover songs? Like, no, because the Beatles and the Eagles mostly played original music, and I was inspired by them to play original music. That's not all we do. We do a bunch of covers when we play live too, but that's more, the covers are fun and they keep people's attention, and you get more focus on the original music, honestly, I find, if you mix it up and give people some things familiar they know too. when your original stuff's not that famous yet. And then, I mean, I've been a Beatles fan since I was a little kid, and you know, when I was 5, I dreamed I wanted to be a Beatle. Then they broke up when I was 5, so it didn't happen. But I like to say, you know, I got like within one letter of it.
That's
No,
close.
Yeah. Now that just got me thinking. If I got within one letter of something, what would that be?
Fanny.
Thinking more along the lines of like jail, but instead of pale.
Prison.
Pale, bail. Who knows?
Another thing, though, that about having the band name is, although I write most of the music and organize most of the project, you know, I didn't want it to be the Rob Freeman project. I want to, you know, I really value the collaborators I work with, and I want to make it a project that we can all be members of and have it be something creative that we're all doing. So I think it's really important to me to have it be a band and not just have it be me. And everyone here makes it so much better.
Okay, that's very admirable, because in a world of it's, I always marvel when people come in here and I'll ask them a question. Is it a democracy or a dictatorship? Because I know bands where the lead guy tells them what to play, how to play it, you know, stay within these confines, and so on and so forth. Even remember Claire Vargo, his story. Our buddy Dave Vargo played guitar for Whitney Houston for like 6 months. And when he first got the gig, he didn't meet her at all. They had like 2 months of rehearsals. And the first time he ever met her was when she stepped on stage at Madison Square Garden. That's his first gig with Whitney Houston at the Garden, right? And the next, she was there for like 2 or 3 nights or something. So the next night, he kind of didn't follow the script and he did a guitar solo, but he didn't play it exactly like it was supposed to be played. Not that it was far off, but there were a couple extra notes that probably shouldn't have been there, and he got a note under his hotel room door saying, please don't do that again. Yeah. So you have, and I know some original artists who, this is my music, you're going to do it my way. And essentially that makes the rest of the quote-unquote band employees, right? And then there's the democracy where you come down and, like you said, you don't have to tell David what to play, and you don't, you know, necessarily. You tell them what you might be thinking, but they're free to create their own parts.
Yeah, and it varies from song to song. Like that song, The Wisest Flower, pretty much what I wrote originally of that song was the part that Nick plays on bass, because it's a repeating bass line is kind of the skeleton of the song. So there's cases like that where there is a specific part, but there's other parts, songs where I tell Nick the chords and he plays whatever he wants. So it really, you know, what needs to be there on any given song. But right. I think the person that probably has the least free reign on these things I write is Joy, because, you know, I write the words, but then she'll tell me I'm not going to sing that. And I was like, okay, well, I got to write something different or have her come up with something different if she's going to sing it. So, you know, basically I can only lead people where they want to go.
That's true.
That's very true. So, Nick, that essentially that means that there are no like diminished triads in your abilities there to augment the tunes.
I always do it a little differently. I mean, I've kind of grew up with a Grateful Dead background, so I try never to play something exactly the same way every time.
I guess the question
it's got to be subtle, but yes.
Well, the question begs is, did the Grateful Dead know that they weren't playing it the exact same way?
That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story.
One time I've become friendly over the years with Cosmo Clifford from Creedence Clearwater, right, the drummer. He was telling me about Woodstock. He's like, Danny, we were supposed to go on at like 9 o'clock at night, but the Grateful Dead
completely
and
different.
Santana went on for like ever. He goes, the Grateful Dead played, they were supposed to do like a 2-hour set. They played like a 4.5 hour set, so we didn't go on till like 1:30 in the morning.
But you see, for the Grateful Dead, that is their 2-hour set. That's the thing.
Correct, because there's no concept of time.
It was only like 6 songs they played.
Yeah, probably. I saw the Allman Brothers in Atlantic City one time at one of the casinos. They played for it had to be right around 3 hours, I guess, maybe 2.5 to 3 hours. I had seen them the week before at the Beacon, and they played for almost 4 hours with a break, but they played about 3 hours. I think they did 6 songs in 3 hours. Seriously, they did like a 25, 30-minute version of Mountain Jam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, come on, guys, let's go. Wrap it up. But that happens. Now, you guys don't really write anything like that you don't have any jam band type tunes.
Actually, I'm a huge Grateful Dead fan too, actually. Okay. And we do have some songs. We often stick sections that are just free form for improvisation in our songs. I sort of learned from the Grateful Dead how to create structured spaces somewhat for improvisation to occur. And one track on our album, the last track on the album, is actually called Free. And it is a track that was totally improvised in the studio and came from, we have a song called Mountain Walk that this came when Joy came. We didn't do this before Joy joined the group.
Improv. That's where I live.
And we would always do this improv jam, really just Joy doing whatever she wanted to do and us following it, coming up with musical parts behind it at the end of that song. And then we recorded that song that way in the studio, and we recorded a few takes of the improv section. And Mountain Walk isn't actually coming on this tune. It's got a bit of Mountain Jam influence in it, too. But it's not actually going to be on this album. But one of the alternate versions of the improv thing is the closing track on this album. We're calling it Free.
And Mr. Mazzio, what is your take on that whole thing there?
Yeah,
this will be fun.
Because you're just kind of sitting back there nodding away.
In the back.
I didn't grow up a Grateful Dead fan, so I like to improvise, but I'm more of a structure, licks and lines sort of.
Who did you grow up listening to?
Actually, I love the Allman Brothers. I mean, so I consider myself sort of a blues and like kind of Americana and country. That's kind of where. I loved, Graham Parsons and I loved the band.
You like that California country sound?
Yeah, but I also like the band. I like kind of roots Americana. Okay. But so that's kind of where I live. So I guess maybe because of the band influence, I always sort of, gravitate more to things that people get to take solos and improvise and stuff a little bit. But I like the structured.
Now, how does that affect what you contribute to the Beagles?
Well, Rob's real good. Rob mentioned it, but he's real good about. He kind of lets me, kind of feel whatever like lines and parts. And I try and play off his guitar playing. I mean, I think that's one of the things that has worked really well. Rob and I approach things differently. We have different guitar playing styles, but they're complementary. And we. He writes things. I try and sit in on them. I come up with ideas. Sometimes he tells me that's good. Do that. Stay with that. Sometimes he says it doesn't work. Try something different. But he gives me a lot of freedom. Because it doesn't mean that you're not creating and improvising. Just because you're not like sort of in a free form improvisational thing. You work on a song. It hasn't been realized yet, and you're kind of making up the lines and the riffs and stuff to fit in and make that song what it is. So I feel it's worked out well. I've enjoyed it.
It's sort of like free range Mazzio. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, on the first album, we didn't have another guitar player. I played all of the guitar on it, and I sort of do this style that's sort of between rhythm and lead, and it's sometimes hard to find another guitar player to work well with that because so many guitar players are like, are you going to play rhythm or lead, and what do you want me to do? And I honestly want the guitars really to interact more. Sort of like a Rolling Stones sort of model of the guitars always interacting with each other. And I've developed a real nice rapport with John doing that, and he's about my favorite guitar player that I've worked with. So I'm really glad to have him on board, creatively contributing.
He's one of my favorites as well. John Mazzio. What about you, David? What growing up, what did you listen to?
Well, I'm still growing up. But
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Although I tend to grow out more now than I grow up.
My mother had been a singer before in New York City clubs before I was born, and she played then after I was born, always around the house, the American songbook standards.
Oh, okay.
So
like the Ella Fitzgeralds.
Yeah, Ella
okay.
and Sarah
Vaughan,
Sinatra. Yeah. That and musical theater. So that was my first concentrated exposure to music, because she would sing or be playing it always. When I started playing, though, I was more interested in the horn bands of the time. Horn bands like Chicago and Blood, Sweat and Tears and Tower of Power. Those were probably my earliest influences with respect to playing.
And I see now, and that's why David gets a lot of gigs and why I sought after, because with that kind of foundation, it's one of the things that kind of bothers me about today's places like School of Rock, these shows on television like The Voice and America's Got Talent and anything like that, is that there's a keyboard player, and I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. His name's David Keys. And one of the things, and David was Odetta's keyboard player for 10 years, and he played with Hall & Oates and a whole bunch of other people. But one of the things that David was taught was the standards. His teacher, piano teacher, taught him the standards and basically said, you can play this kind of stuff. And it was what you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. The American Songbook, some jazz, some, what else did you say? It just went right out of my head.
Broadway
musicals, things like that. You could play that, you'll work forever. And he took that to heart, and he's a musician to this day. He was just at the Lizzie Rose last month, David Keys. If you're just tuning in, I am here with the Beagles, with Joy. Producer Claire is here. Let's do some more music.
All right, we're going to do a song called Love You Enough. Joy will introduce this one. This is the song she was talking about singing into her phone.
Yeah, so I wrote this in the corner of Lover's Lane, and was it 206?
In Princeton there?
Princeton.
Yeah, I know that corner
put it
well.
In the phone. I was going through a heartbreak, and and I eventually gave this to Rob, and he turned it into this. And so, yeah.
This is our latest single that's up on Spotify now. If you like it, you
what's
can
it called?
check it in there. Love You Enough.
Love You Enough.
They're all love songs.
For adults.
Yeah.
For grown-outs.
For grown-ups, that's right. One or the other.
I can't love you enough to make you fall in love with me. I can't love you enough, and I'm not what you need. Long time ago, I thought I could make you see that I could love you enough, that you'd be there for me. I can't touch you enough to make you feel again. I can't touch you deep enough to take away your pain. Long time ago, I trusted love to set us free, that I could love you enough, that you would feel for me. As time went by, I realized that everything I give and everything I did wasn't being given back to me. And you told me in so many ways that nothing that you felt could replace what I gave. You told me that you loved me, but not in that way. You warned me I couldn't love you enough to make you stay, but I didn't listen. I kept wishing that you'd wake up and see that I was enough for you and you'd be everything to me. But love wasn't enough to make you want me. Love wasn't enough to set you free. Love wasn't enough to make you love me. Love just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. Wasn't I can't love you enough to make you fall in love with me. I can't love you enough, and I'm not what you need. Long time ago, I thought my truth could set you free, but I can't love you enough to set your soul at ease. No, I can't love you enough.
I just can't love you enough.
Can't love you. I can't love you.
I just can't love you enough.
I can't love you.
The Beagles with Joy here on Rock on Radio. Fantastic. Joy, you mentioned earlier how you sang in church. Was that a hard transition for you to go from that to this?
I mean, I sang, in my bedroom, listened to Whitney Houston and Etta James and stuff like that. But yeah, because I didn't sing this publicly. I didn't sing this kind of music publicly. I don't know. It was something that was worldly and we didn't do. So this was the first time I got to sing like this kind of music once I made that transition. But I didn't make the transition from my evangelical roots until I was like 25, 30. That was the transition.
Now, was there a moment that you can sit back? Like every musician has what I like to call a watershed moment. It's at that moment that they realize, hey, I want to play the guitar. Hey, I want to play the drums. I want to play a horn or a viol, a stringed instrument, violin, flute, anything. Was there a moment like that for you? I mean, 25. Now, for me,
Yeah,
I was 12.
I just didn't think it was possible. I was very particular about the kind of, I had dogma. I was going to be a good wife and have children and be a supportive wife. So I went through a total, right, when the marriage ended. And so that is when I came into my own. And I was like, who do I want to be? If God's not telling me who to be, my man's not telling me who to be, who do I want to be? And so I was like, I want to sing. And so that's kind of open mics. Kathy Haney took me out. You know Kathy Haney from Einstein Alley Musicians Club or Collaborative. So then we started doing it. And then she invited me to this guy's basement and some projects. And I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. And his belief in me, I mean, that's really what this is about. And then the band being like, yeah, you can do this, Joy, because they're musicians. I was just, with my hairbrush. And then in the church choir and just doing certain things. But so they've really made me feel like I can take the mic and sing, if that makes any sense. So thank you all. And I'm honored that they put up with me.
The thing she does other than like just singing, she's involved with Journey Dance, where she gets people dancing to express their emotions and process emotions, and really takes a mic and is exhorting people to dance and improvising, just telling people do this. And like one thing I've done with her with the band is say, bring that into what you do here, don't be afraid of the mic, as much as you can suggest dancers, that's what leading a band is about, getting people to dance and about getting musicians to play, and to take that spirit that she brings into that and bring it into this.
Well, I can relate to that, because Joy, I inspire people to dance on a regular basis.
No.
Tell me about that.
No, you don't. No.
She does not like...
I can help you out.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, don't even try. It's not even worth it.
My style of interpretive dance...
Oh, we can do that?
Yeah,
No.
Thank you.
No.
Somebody on my side.
No.
Finally.
She hasn't seen you dance. That's the problem. You have one dance move, and that is absolutely it.
That's right.
Thriller cannot be done to every single dance.
Thriller could be done to every single song on the planet.
No, it's boring.
Yeah, play something, Rob. I'll show you.
No.
Are we doing this one?
No.
I think he was just a joke.
No, go ahead. Make that Joy, but go ahead. What do you want to do? Let's do another tune. Why not?
Well,
Just do a little riff for
Well,
him.
this is a song you can dance to.
There you go.
We're doing this disco funk show right now, and which was we're put together an act called the EMC Disco Funk Machine, which is kicking off Pride Fest at the library at Heinz Plaza in Princeton, June 6th, and having this whole funk band that we put together to work with this, I got them all on this tune too, and we got the whole horn section that played on this in the studio.
You are going to so regret this. You're going to so regret this.
And
when you watch him dance.
I'll actually, plug your spot.
No.
This is the title song of the album, and mentioning your sponsor, New Jersey Stage, too. This is actually going to be the Making Waves song of the week in a couple weeks.
Whoa! All right.
To Cohen, New Jersey
our
Stage.
Our friend Bob Macon. Yes,
Bob
sir.
Macon, yep. And that's going to coincide with our funk show at Heinz Plaza.
Okay.
Well, the funny part, though, is that when he first brought this song to me, I was like, Rob, this so sucks. This is like, you gotta let it go. But he has a way of seeing and hearing things that I cannot. And more than once has he brought something to me that I'm like, this is not gonna happen. Well, and then it does. It does.
She heard me playing it on acoustic guitar, and I'm like, no, this is gonna have, a horn section and 4 vocalists and all of this, and I hear it all in my head, but she can't hear all of that till we get.
And the band has to hear me bitch with him about everything. But I love this song now. I think this is really great, and I love it. I love to sing it, and I can't believe it. You set my soul on fire. You set my heart free. You're like my one desire. You're everything to me. You set my soul on fire. Baby, can't you see? I don't need to be there every day, 'cause you know that in the long run I'll be coming back your way to stay. You You set my soul on fire. You set my heart free. You're like real live wire, electrifying me. Your loving takes me higher, then brings me to my knees. I wake up in the night, all tangled up in fright. But when you draw me near, you untangle all my fears. Take me to the light, to set my soul on fire. You make me start to smile. You set my soul on fire. You know it's been a while. You set this soul on fire. You really drive me wild. I love the way you look into my eyes. The way you look when you take me deep inside. Worlds collide. I never felt less naked than I do when I'm lying down naked next to you, clothed by the warmth that flows out of your soul. I need a word that says I'm more than whole. A word like soul fire. When I let you look inside soul fire. I got nothing to hide, burning soul fire. Oh, you make me feel pride, feeling soul fire. Your loving takes me higher.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You make me feel alive.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I ain't telling you no lie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now we're gonna thrive.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We're really in the mix.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You know I taste like heaven.
7, 8, 9, 10.
This one goes to 11.
Soul fire.
We got some music here today.
Soul fire.
Oh, listen to us play.
Listen to John play. Soul fire.
Oh, what you gonna do?
Soul fire.
When you look at me that way, yeah.
Soul fire.
Oh, what you gonna say?
Soul fire. Soul fire.
Feel like I'm living in a zoo.
Soul fire.
Where the monkeys do it too.
Soul fire.
Make me ooh.
Soul fire.
Cock-a-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle.
Soul fire.
Look what you do to me.
Soul fire.
This time I'm not gonna flee.
Soul fire.
Listen to me sing, baby.
Soul fire. Make it feel like a game.
Soul fire. Oh, yeah.
Soul fire. Last times.
The Beagles with Joy.
Yes,
Let
and
me
you
guess. That's
regretted
called
it.
Soul Fire.
Soul on fire.
Soul on fire. Darn. That's a good guess. I like that. See? You like that, Nick? See, I like Nick.
Yeah.
I like Nick.
But did
Nick,
they see you dance?
Yeah.
See, that's the problem.
Mazzio saw it.
They totally
David saw
ignored
it.
you. Yeah, and they did regret it.
Mr. Ross, would you like to comment?
I think you can do Michael Jackson moves to anything.
There you
See,
go.
in my field, everybody can dance. It's just movement is the first language. So if it's just this, what's it saying to you, baby?
I didn't see the moonwalk though. That
What?
was I was a little disappointed in that.
Oh, I didn't want to get up and disturb you guys while you were playing.
No, the moonwalk is even worse than the Thriller.
I'm pretty good at chair dancing.
he He puts the moon in Moonwalk.
That calls for a.
That was good. That was good.
Hey, two, David. I thought you were on my side there for a minute.
I am.
Nice. You know what? We forgot to say, actually, again, Jersey Fest
Got moved.
was moved. Yeah, so those of you who have tickets for Jersey Fest, which was scheduled
Right.
for May 17th,
Yes, last week.
they will be honored at they're rescheduling
September?
it for September. The
Right.
date is not established yet, but our friends at Radio Garden State, Mike they will be on the road at Obel's Inn
Oh, nice.
on May 30th.
Okay, good.
And they will be broadcasting live from Obel's Inn in Bloomfield, New Jersey,
Nice.
as there's an Allagash tap takeover.
Ooh.
And they're in collaboration with 86th, the magazine.
Oh, okay.
So they will be there broadcasting live, and that is Friday, May 30th. Let's see what's going on at this place. It's beer tasting, craft and vintage vendors, giveaways, music, and more.
Nice. Well,
So they will
sounds
be there to
good.
broadcast on May.
So if you're in the north part of New Jersey, you can
Yeah.
go to that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in the
And-
south part, you're going to Lizzie
And don't
Rose.
forget, Telegraph Hill has a porch at the Tuckerton Porch Fest,
Okay.
which is May 31st. And
That's right up the road from Lizzie Rose, so that's good. That's a Tuckerton area.
and they've got performances scheduled from or by the Foes of Fern,
Ooh.
Jared Clemens,
Okay.
and Alexander Simone.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good one. That's one at one porch they have.
Yeah, and we're going to have some Telegraph Hill artists on the show, actually, soon.
Okay.
I think next week we got Des and the Swagmatics, don't we? Or is,
Is
that
it
in
next
June?
week? I think it's in 2 weeks.
Is it in 2 weeks?
I'll let you know.
We have to look and see, but...
No, not Arlen.
Oh, Arlen Filas is
Is next week.
Okay.
And then Our Marvelous Lives, and then
Des
Des
and the
Swagmatics.
Swagmatics. All right, so I got a little ahead of myself.
Imagine that.
Moi? So, when does this record come out? Which again is called
Soul on Fire.
Aha! See, I knew it, Nick.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank
That's what
you.
We're talking about.
Thank you.
It's going to come out. We're doing an album release show in Heinz Plaza in Princeton on July 27th. We're probably going to release it July 24th or July 25th, a couple of days before that, because we got another big show coming up at Whedon Park in Lawrenceville on July 24th.
Big,
so
big
we'll probably
shoe.
put it out July 24th, and then the album release events on the 27th in Princeton.
The Beagles.
The
Yes.
Beagles.
Correct.
But we're putting out one single at a time before then. So of the 8 tracks, we've got 3 out already. We're putting out a 4th in the beginning of June. And then
Now, what's your thinking behind that? I'm just curious because that is something that many people and who have been on this show and people just in general now, there's the way they do things. I know one band that put out like a 5-song EP and released all 5 songs as a single. And I'm like, well, then why does anybody want the EP if they've already downloaded the 5 songs individually every couple of months? So what's your thinking behind this? I'm just curious.
Well, honestly,
No, I want you to lie to me, Rob.
yeah.
I don't want honesty.
I mean, these days it's less about selling physical product and more about, getting a following, streaming you on music services like Spotify. And promoting individual tracks is the best way to you can build up a following and build up traction doing that track at a time. We're not putting every track on the album, but actually one reason that we split it up into 2 albums was so we could have this release schedule that the tracks that we thought were sort of promotable as singles, we'd have each of those released in a sequence building up to the album. Then there's a few songs in the album that are less likely to be singles. Like I mentioned, there's one track in the album that's 6 minutes of purely improvised stuff. We're not trying to put that as a single and get that on playlists or anything, but it's going to round out the album nicely. So
Plus, you get 2 parties out of it. It's a beautiful thing.
yes. So this thing is called the waterfall method. People are calling where you release things step by step, building up to an album. So it's been working pretty well so far. We're getting a nice following streaming us. So pleased with that.
Sadly, the days of physical product, unless you want to spend a lot of money on vinyl, which is the novelty again these days. Sadly, those days are pretty much gone.
Yes.
Everything is streaming. Everything. So you can put it up on Spotify to get your 1,000 or 100,000 streams and get your check for 15 cents, every quarter.
Hey, I actually just got a $50 check from Spotify.
Whoa!
I think it's probably from a publisher, but through probably mostly streaming stuff. There were some sales, but this is probably from my first album too that we did, that Bed of Roses album. But hey, I was like, Jay was like, hey, don't laugh at that, man. $50 from recorded music this day is something. You know what I mean?
That is more than most.
That is true.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a comic, and he, his stuff. You could hear his stuff on like Comedy Central, and he's been on a lot of the XM radio, Sirius XM comedy channels. Or he's like, yeah, I don't know. I go to my mailbox once a quarter and get my check for 20 cents, and I go on my way. It's really a shame what they do as far as the business side to the artist these days. But
well, fortunately, I made a decision a long time ago when I was young that I wasn't going to try and earn my living with music. But I really feel amazed by how much I've been able to do with music since then, really beyond my wildest dreams, what I've been able to do, the musicians I've been able to work with, the amount of high-quality recorded music I've been able to release, and to some extent not having to try to do my best to earn my living with music has freed me up to make it more of a purely creative outlet and make it my art form. I don't have to, figure out which 20 covers are going to be the ones that are going to get me the most $200 bar gigs to add up to a $40,000 a year income if I can get $200 bar gigs or something like that,
Right.
And I mean, maybe we'll make some money out of it. I get checks every now and then. They don't add up to what I've put into it. And all of the people that participate in recordings with me, I give them something for their time in the recording, but I also say I'm a lawyer in my day job, so I do contracts, I give them a contract and I say, if we make any money out of this, everyone's going to share in the money we make out of this according to the extent of their participation in the project. I say, don't do it for that reason, you're not going to get rich off this, but hey, if we get something, you'll get something too. Now everyone's heard about my $50 and they're going to be like, where's mine, man?
Where's my $10?
Show me the money, man. See? This is what happens. You have
Mutiny?
to negotiate away that $50 check that you just got from Spotify. Good Lord. Well, I was just, matter of fact, today, I had my day brightened very much because I received a text message. And in this text message were two of our favorite people. Actually, a picture of the two of some of our favorite people.
Okay.
Gloria Carpenter.
Okay.
And Susie Chapstick. They ran into each other at a gig.
They know each other?
And they know each other.
Nice.
So they sent me a picture. And just today, I reached out.
Yeah,
Apparently,
Susie Chapstick is a man.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, that's not Susie Chaffee? Because there was that Susie Chaffee.
Yeah, no, not the skier. No,
No.
Susie Chapstick. Well, that's what they called her, Susie Chapstick.
Right.
Yeah, we call him Susie Chapstick because he decided
Has to have chapstick.
he needed
everywhere he
chapstick
goes.
for his lips, and he decided that we were emceeing the Long Branch Jazz and Blues Festival, and it was a hot August day, and his lips are like drying out. So he's like, I gotta find some chapstick, and his wife forgot him, and he disappears. He disappears for like, it had to be close to an hour, right? But we can't find the guy. And he comes back I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I finally found some place where I can buy chapstick. I said, why didn't you just walk right there? Which was literally, for those of you watching at home, from me to Nick, who's like 15 feet away from me.
In the back.
Yeah. And I was like, why didn't you just walk over there to the giveaway table? They're giving it away.
Brookdale was giving away a whole vat of
Brookdale College was giving away chapstick.
He was like, oh.
So anyway, Gloria reached out and she goes back and she listens to a lot of our old shows, not just the ones that she's been on, but over the years. And she asked me a question. She said, 3 years ago, you said you were talking to somebody named Jerry Monk, and that you realized, that where you're at is where you were meant to be. Do you still feel that way? And did you give up on your dream? Now, my dream, and somebody snuck this in my high school yearbook. I have no idea how or who to this day. And that was 400 years ago. And it said underneath my bio, wants to be a rock star. And I've told this story far too many times on here. But when I got out of high school, I didn't want to go to college. And my class rank was 80 out of 521. So I was in the top 20% of my class. I was done with school. I was playing music, and my mom said, well, you're not going to college. You got to get a job. I'm like, I got a job. Oh, you do? When did you get a job? I said, Mom, I'm in a band. I'm a musician. She said, no, you need a real job. Your father and I, you need benefits. You need a steady paycheck. You need this. You need that. Okay. So I kind of put that whole dream portion of touring the world with a rock band on hold. And of course, here I am 44 years later, and I never got to realize that dream. And many people do it. They either at all costs just do what they want to do to follow their dream and passion, or they give it up for others or at the suggestion of others, and they kind of sacrifice a piece of who they are, I think. So, kudos to you, Rob, for saying early on, I ain't going to do this for a living. I'm going to do something. But doing it part-time, I think it was, I wish I could remember, Gary Ween's book, Beyond the Palace, which is a history of music in Asbury Park. There's a quote in there. I want to say it's from Springsteen. Something about, if there's a plan B, then you never follow through on plan A. Essentially, and they went on and on and on, and I'm paraphrasing there, but if you've got something to fall back on, then if plan A doesn't come to fruition, you kind of like, oh, well, I can always do this. Whereas opposed, if you don't have a plan B, you'll find a way to make plan A work.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the thing is, if you love doing something enough, you can keep doing it all the time and put all of your energy to it. When I went to some hardcore schools and I went to law school, and people were like, how do you possibly have the energy to play in bands at night in the village after being in law school all day? And I'm like, this gives me more energy than it takes from me.
Right.
This recharges me and lets me put my energy into the other. So I just see it as complementary and having a rounded life. And I put as much energy into the music as into any other.
That was the first thing I would do if I had a bad day at school. I would come home and either do one of two things. I'd either go downstairs and play my drums, or I would lay on the bed, put the headphones on, and listen to side one of Physical Graffiti. I mean, there was it was music that recharged me. So I understand that. I totally understand that. Claire, how much time do we have left?
15 minutes.
Oh, let's do one more tune. What you want to do?
We're going to do, this is a tune that we're holding off to the second album, but it's one of the first tunes we had, first originals we worked on with Joy. This is that one I mentioned. It's called Anew. That's a poem she wrote, so that I set to music. She'll tell you a little bit about the poem.
Yeah, so this is, I actually wrote this poem, and I had some dancers put it to music and created improv with it. And when Rob saw it on Facebook, he just, within 45 minutes, he said he put it to a song. But and we'll hear it, but what's interesting is that this song is so important because this was about me. This is deep moments with joy. This is about taking full ownership, 100% ownership of 50% of a relationship, that in a world where there's a lot of love songs or sad songs that talk about what the other person did, it's really about what did I do and how am I going to love again? So this is really, important.
This is the first original song that John worked on with us too, and we actually during COVID times that's when John first started working with us, and we couldn't go into studios or anything, but we started working on original tunes and just rehearsing in the backyard, so we'd all be outside in the fresh air and socially distanced and stuff like that, and we'd record the songs live to video. So this is the first song we did that way, and this was the song of the week in New Jersey Stage back then in 2021.
This song also I really like because it reminds me of A Beautiful Day. If you remember the San Francisco band. So this kind of, like, when you ask me what I liked about joining this band, this is one of those songs that kind of like hit a certain chord.
Fantastic.
A minor.
And it was amazing how it came together, I don't know, like maybe 2 plays through,
Yeah.
It just, it was something that everybody just sort of felt the song. And I think, a lot of how we still do it dates back to
Isn't that funny how that happens,
Rob's
John?
yard,
I mean,
yeah.
there's some stuff just clicks, and other stuff it's like, why aren't we getting this? It's the easiest thing on the planet, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't mesh.
True.
It's a beautiful day. Let's all gather in the backyard and work on this music and record it onto a video camera, right?
Come here with an offering, not a taking. Let us go now, go to the river. Let us soothe, let us wash, clean this burden, and let it go. Let us heal first. New love cannot heal the wounds from the old love. Let me feel this emptiness first. Let me breathe again on my own. Let me find a way to open again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Let me become an offering. Then I can receive this love anew. Anew. May we come here with an offering, not a taking. Let us go now. Go to the river. Let us soothe, let us wash, clean this burden, and let it go. Let us heal first. New love cannot heal the wounds from the old love. Again on my own. Let me find a way to open again. and again and again and again and again. Let me become an offering. Then I can receive new love. Then I can receive your love. Then I can receive this love.
The Beagles with Joy here.
That gave me chills.
On Rock
really did.
On Radio. Fantastic. CD release scheduled for the end of July. What do you have? Websites and everything again?
TheBeaglesWithJoy.com, and on Facebook.com we are The Beagles with Joy as well. And find us on Spotify. Follow us and stream us there. The Beagles with Joy is the name of the artist.
Excellent. Now, and for gigs, what was that?
It's a thing he does. Yeah, it's a thing.
And
That's why we have Nick here.
We got 4 things coming up as far as gigs. First, we're the core of the EMC Disco Funk Machine that's doing a big gig in Heinz Plaza to kick off Pride Month on July 6th.
No, June 6th.
June 6th. June 6th.
That's D-Day, baby. D-Day.
Heinz Plaza is
in the heart of Princeton, right by the library.
Right off of Witherspoon Street.
Next to the library.
In the huge courtyard next to the library in Princeton. So go ahead.
And then July 24th and July 27th. July 24th, we're doing Whedon Park in Lawrenceville, where the park with the gazebo.
206, Route 206 in
Yep,
Lawrenceville.
and Craven Lane in the Main Street part of Lawrenceville. July 27th, we're doing Heinz Plaza, Princeton on Witherspoon Street as an album release party. And then on September 6th, we're on the main stage at the Rainbow Moon Festival. Joy will tell you a little bit about that.
That's at Snipes Farm,
Morrisville,
in Morrisville,
PA.
Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's a festival this will be the 5th or 6th year going into it. It was started during COVID, where I'm one of the original producers of it. It was in Hopewell, New Jersey, on a farm, and now it's grown into more music and ecstatic dance, which is another aspect of my life, the free form movement, and local culture. So it's growing. It's growing.
Nice.
Excellent. Now, I spoke of Dave Keys earlier, Claire. Do you know whose wedding he was in? It's going to be the oddball question, right?
Yeah.
Mikey Jr.'s.
Really?
Yep. And matter of fact, Dave will be playing the Bucks County Blues Society picnic in July over at Snipes, or at least that's where it used to be. That's when she just said that.
Yeah.
That just
a good place
popped
for
into
music.
my head. How about that? Excellent.
Small world.
So, how much time do we have left?
6 minutes.
6 minutes. Now, do you want to play one of the tunes that you sent us?
Sure. Why don't you play "Tasting Teardrops"? That's one of the tracks that's streaming on Spotify now as well, and it's one of the tracks that's got our horn section with us on it.
Excellent. Now, who's in the horn section?
That track has Steve Walpert, who I founded the band with, Mike Giles. You met his wife, Olive. Olive and Mike were both on our show the last time we did this, and Jim Brockman is on trumpet, and he does the horn arrangements too. And that song we played, Soul on Fire, also has a horn section. On that case, it's instead of Steve Walpert on sax, it's Ron Klein on sax, but the trumpet and trombone are the same on that.
Nice. Fantastic. All right, well.
To hear it without piano and horns.
Here it is.
Tasting Teardrops.
No, we're not singing.
Tasting teardrops when I think of you. Each time somebody asks what I'm going through, it hurts too much to talk through it again. So tonight I gotta swallow my pain. David Ruffin used to wish it would rain, but that don't cut it for indoor pain. When my kids see me get red in my face, and I can't find no hiding place,
take some time for me to heal. Bop, shoo-wop, ooh, bop, shoo-wop. I'm gonna spend that time feeling the feel, seeing what's real, starting to deal, not to conceal. I used to live a full and single way. My kids and music more than filled my days. But then you went and opened up my soul, and now you're gone and left a big hole. You've gone and ripped a hole in my soul. So I keep tasting teardrops when I think of you. Each time somebody asks what I'm going through, it hurts too much to talk through it again. So tonight I gotta swallow my pain. It's gonna take some time for me to heal. I'm gonna spend that time feeling the feel, seeing what's real, starting to deal, not to conceal. I'll be tasting teardrops for one more night. Hold them back till I can hold you tight. Swallowing my feelings will not make it right, but it might get me through the night. So I'll keep tasting teardrops when I think of you. Each time somebody asks what I'm going through, it hurts too much to talk through it again. So tonight I gotta swallow my pain. I'll be tasting teardrops once again.
The Beagles with Joy and Peeling Onions. No, wait. What the heck was
Tasting
it?
Teardrops.
Tasting Teardrops.
They missed all that.
There we go.
It used to be called Peeling Onions.
And
Joy
that's-
wouldn't sing that.
That's an in-studio joke that you can only find by going to the Rock on Radio After Show, which is on YouTube at whatever our YouTube channel is.
Okay. I have to work on that.
You have to work. Well, we have a YouTube channel.
We do. I just we
There's
never-
only like
our luthier is on there.
our luthier, our interview with Paul Unkert,
That's right.
a luthier.
Nice.
He made like, what did he say?
Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, he
stuff.
made I don't know how many guitars for Eddie Van Halen.
Wow.
You know the Flying V
Yeah,
headstock? That's
yeah.
his patent. He made.
Nice.
He invented that as well. So, but
But that's the only thing that's out there.
so this is coming out for release on the 27th.
July 24th, I believe, is going to be
July
the release.
24th.
Yeah.
What made you pick that date?
Well,
Or
we
is
have a
that
big
just-
show happening that date, and so we wanted to align it with that. We'll be playing for a lot of
Okay.
people. We want to be able to tell them that you can
Well,
hear
July
a brand new
24th
album.
is your Wheaton Park. It's July 27th this year.
Yeah, July 27th is the album release event, but we got another
job.
kind
And
of
that's
July
at Heinz
24th.
Plaza.
Yeah, Heinz Plaza on July 27th.
What time of the day?
That's going to be at 4 o'clock, I believe.
Okay.
And the Whedon Park is going to be at 6:30 on July 24th.
Yeah, that's 6:30 start time.
Yeah.
That is. When does that? Did they start with their concerts in the park already? Because I haven't been able to.
No, it
to
hasn't
find them.
started yet. It's
Usually starts
late
right
June.
around. Oh, is it
Usually
late June?
late
I thought
June,
it was
yeah.
right after Memorial Day. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what's next after all this stuff? Are we going to be recording again? Because a lot of artists come in here and they have one album down, it's not even released, and they're talking about following it up already.
Well, we'll probably record some additional stuff for the follow-up album. So we'll do another batch of recording to flesh that out. And we're just going to keep gigging and writing and making music and doing what we love. Joy has something she started writing she's going to share with me and see if I can add something to it. So that'll be one of the next projects. And we got one tune we did in the backyard a few years ago. What was that one called with the 12 strings?
Wind, something.
It was called. It was the interesting. Anyway, we're probably gonna record that one too.
Excellent. All right, guys. Well, I have to wrap it up.
Yes, you do.
Producer Claire gave me the fist. wrap it up or you're done is the iron fist of producer Claire.
That is true. Because you ignored the finger.
I didn't see the finger.
I told you.
What are we talking about here?
Correct. Who knows? Well, guys, John Mazzio, good to see you again, my friend. Always a pleasure.
Same here, Danny. Great
Nick, nice to meet you.
Yo, yeah.
Dave,
Yeah.
David, always good to see you too,
You too,
sir.
Danny.
You know that.
You too, Claire.
And you too, Rob and Joy. Good to see you guys. Good luck with the record. The Beagles. The new album is called
Soul on Fire, Love Songs for Grown-Ups by the Beagles with Joy.
By
And
the
let's give a
Beagles.
shout out to Jay Postapenko, who was
That's
here at the
right.
beginning of the show.
Hey,
too.
baby,
Our keyboardist.
yeah.
That's him, Big J.
Yeah.
And next week we have Arlen Filas. So until then.
Rock on.